Alright, so this would be a continuation of a video I did earlier. These are STX 900 carburetors. They're off a 2000 STX. Now I'm working on a 1999 STX and my carburetors are bad, and so I needed to pick up new carburetors. So I picked up some carburetors. Actually, I had another machine that was a scrap I'm using for parts, and so I have another a 2000 STX 900 that you can see here. The motor's sitting on the ground here. I parted out, or I'm parting out. In any case, I was looking up the carburetors on a 2000 ZXI 1100. And they're actually the same carbs. They just do a couple of different things differently. So I mentioned in the other video I was doing that inside of here is a needle jet. And the 1100s have a different needle jet in them. So you do need to remove the caps up here and replace the needle jet. I mentioned that in the first video. So what I did was the needle jets that I needed were actually in the 99. They use the same exact needle jet as the ZXI 1100 and 2000. So even though the carburetors are slightly different, they use the exact same part number for the needle jet. So I was actually able to take them out and put them in here. Now, in checking manuals and stuff, some of the manuals I read said that the jets are the same, and I wanted to verify. So I did just pull the jets out of the middle one, and the main jet is a 165. It is very difficult to read out. I don't know if you can read that out, but it is a 165. And the idle jet, the low jet, is a 38. Now the 38. The jets that originally came in the 99 are 165 35s, but that's normal. When they changed carburetors, they actually went to a different jet size. So now let's get back to these. So you have to change the needle jet. You don't need to change the jets. The jets are fine, but you do need to change the mixture screw. So right here next to the oil feed, there is mixture screws. They usually have caps on them. Take a drill and just drill the cap. It'll just pop right out. And these are set from the factory for the 900s at 7/8 of a turn. So 7/8 is the normal for the 900, but for the 1100 they're 1 3/4. So you need to pull these caps off and then readjust these mixture screws to be 1 3/4. And so understand when you're using these screwdrivers that when you turn from here to here, that's only a half a turn. So you need to turn it. If you start here, you're going to go all the way back around 360 degrees. That's one turn. Then turn half, and then just turn a quarter, and that would be 1 3/4. And that's how you get your turns. And so we're set. I'm going to put these back together right now. I'm super excited, and hopefully I'll have this thing running tomorrow. So again, you have the small jet is your idle jet. The big jet is your main jet. And if you look inside here, you'll actually see the needle right there in there, and that is what this works off of. So when you're at low to mid-range speed, this needle does not come completely out, so it does not allow full fuel until full throttle. So this needle at full throttle won't make any difference, but at low and mid-range, if you have the wrong needle in here, you could have a lean condition. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. I thought I'd help you guys out with that. Again, if it's a 900 carburetor, these mixture screws in here are set at 7/8. You need to turn them to 1 3/4 and change the needle in here to use on an 1100. The jets are the same. So one note I did mention earlier that the jets, the low speed jet on this is a 35, but that's just normal for this style carburetor. When this is 1 year older carburetor, and there's some slight differences to it. When they went to the newer carburetor, they used this carburetor on the ZXI 1100 and on the STX 900, and they both used a 38 for the small pilot jet and 165 for the main, for both the 900 and the 1100. The only difference they changed was the idle, or the needle jet because the needle jet controls low and mid range how much fuel it gets in to the engine, but just by changing this needle jet. You don't have to mess with these jets. If you need more full throttle, then you would have to put a bigger jet in here. So basically, if you're doing a full pass run, that's how you check to see if you're running rich or lean. You're going to want to floor it, do a full pass run, and then shut off while you're doing the full pass run, and then read your plugs and read everything. And if you're not getting enough fuel, you want to change this jet. If you're just cruising after you do the full throttle runs and you get this jet set right, then actually you would do just cruising. And if you actually were running rich or lean, you could adjust this needle. I've actually seen people put washers underneath these needles to get the fuel to come in a little bit sooner, to run a little bit richer. So if you are having some hesitation issues out of the hole, you can actually try removing this, putting a washer between in between where the needle. Let me see if I can find one. I've seen people do this before for racing deals. So basically this needle is beveled. It starts off small and then gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If you put a washer right in here and then slide it in to the diaphragm, it actually is going to make this needle not stick in as far, and it's going to allow more fuel sooner. So you can actually put a small washer there to allow for you to have a richer condition sooner. So that's one way around that. But anyway, as you can see, everything looks pretty clean in here, so I'm pretty happy about that. We're going to get this thing together. All right, thanks for watching.